Hello everyone, my name is Hannah and I am going to share with you today my testimony on what led me to Jesus Christ. So I'm just going to jump right into it, and I'm going to start at the beginning. Starting with my childhood, I was raised in church. I was Christian, my family was Christian, my parents were both super involved with church. My dad was a worship leader, and my mom, she also helped out. They would do like Sunday services together, different workshops, and we were just super involved. I definitely felt like at a young age I just had a heart for God. I don't want to say I had a relationship with him because I was young, and so I didn't really know what it took to have a relationship with God. I knew that I accepted him as my Lord and Savior, and I was baptized. I was Christian and this was from the time I was born until I was about 14. When I was 14, my parents got a divorce, and of course the church, they did not really like that. They felt that it was wrong, and so at that time they asked my dad to step down from leadership, and we no longer felt comfortable at the church, and so we didn't go anymore. We kind of went our own way. We tried for a couple of years going to different churches, like my dad and I, and just truly never felt at home anywhere else. And so we kind of just stopped going altogether. So from the time that I was 14 until I was 20, I would say I was a lukewarm Christian. I believed in God. I knew there was God. But I wasn't living for God. I was living for myself. I was drinking and smoking and doing whatever I wanted to do. I wasn't super rebellious or anything, but I definitely wasn't putting my life in the hands of God. Sorry if it's loud. I'm on my balcony, so hopefully it's not too bad. But like I was saying, at this time, just wasn't living for God, living for myself. I would still consider myself just a very spiritual person, like always just drawn to spirituality in general, and liked the idea of it. So when I was 19, I entered a relationship with this guy, and later on it turned very toxic, very abusive. He was a narcissist, I believe, and he ultimately, I felt, was demonic. Like, he had a demonic spirit. He had demons in him. He had just a lot of evil. And at the time, me being this fixer and just this person who always sees the best in everyone, even if it's a small amount, I felt like I could fix this person and that, we could be together. I was really wrong, and it got so bad to one day I just fell to my knees and I was like, God, I need you. I am so broken. I can't do this anymore. Like, I need you. I need you in my life. I need you to take the wheel from me because I'm not doing something right. And so I would say this was a turning point. This was a turning point in my life. I definitely truly desired God at this time. I would get in my car every day on my way to work and just pray and just ask God for a way out of this relationship, ask him to heal my brokenness and come into my heart. I told God, I know that I'm obviously not who I'm supposed to be. I have brokenness within me that would even lead me to be with somebody like this. And so I asked God, just continue to take me through it. Like, I know that I'm not whole, and I know that you're doing something. I know that you're working. And he was. He was. But at this time, because I was so lost, I was seeking a lot of spirituality. I wanted to grow my relationship with God. I wanted to get closer to him, but I didn't want to read my Bible. I thought that, it didn't resonate with me. This book was just old and religious, and I was like, no, there's other ways I can connect with God. And so I started getting into what I now know is called New Age. I started Instagram, just like different feeds, zodiac popping up, crystal healing, sage, tarot, like all of these different things that were just made to be so innocent and just cute, and like society really pushed them. And looking back, I was definitely warned in my childhood about these things, and I knew, you stay away from these things, but for some reason it was just wrapped in this new innocent packaging, and so my spirit was more susceptible. Plus, I felt like being with somebody who was an evil person, their spirit really clung to me, and it really made me more susceptible to allow these things into my life that I normally wouldn't have probably allowed. And so I started getting into things very slowly. I started with sage. I went to, I think, Marshall's one day, and it's just, again, all wrapped in these cutesy, innocent packagings. And so I saw this thing of sage, and I was like, I have to get it. I have to try it. And I started reading up on how I'm supposed to do it, and I did it. I lit the sage, I put it all through my room and opened this window so that these negative spirits, this negative energy could leave from me, and I could, positive vibes, my best self. And so that was like the initiator of this new age kind of spiritual journey for me. And after that, I, was always into these zodiacs, like twin flames, and like this was your soulmate if he was this sign, and like just super into it, these people have these certain characteristics and these traits, and there's a lot of truth behind it, if not all the way there. Like it's very truthful. It's gonna lure you in, and that's what the devil does. He lures you. So he lures you, and he's deceitful. So he did his job well. That was just the beginning. Then I started to just be attracted to crystals. They were so beautiful, and I really liked them. I thought they were just these beautiful stones, and then I heard that they hold these energies and have these like healing powers, and they can cleanse your space and really get you into this space that is just clean. And I'm thinking, wow, like all of these ways are such great ways to connect with God. Like I'll cleanse my space and like have an inviting space for his presence to be able to enter. No, totally having it backwards. Totally. And so the next kind of rabbit hole I go down, because once you start to get into one, if you're a very spiritual person and like really want to seek this truth and this light, you're going to go further and down, because it's giving you these little bits of truth to make you intrigued, to make you feel like this is it. And so I started to get into this law of attraction, manifesting, speaking things into existence, having this positive mindset to where you can attract different things into your life, and you can basically control your outcome. And what's wrong with this? It sounds so good. It sounds like, who wouldn't want to do that? And so I'm not thinking anything is wrong with any of the stuff I'm doing. And, looking back, it's a huge problem. We can't speak things into existence. Only God can. God controls our reality. He's ultimately always in control, not us. And trust me, we don't want it to be that way. We don't want to be in control. And the problem with manifestation and law of attraction, not saying speaking positive things it's a good thing. You should speak positively. Your words do hold power. But there's a problem when you're your own God, in the sense to where you can speak these things into existence. If you just have this positive mindset, positive things will flow. It's just too much pressure. Like if you don't properly speak something or have this perfect mindset, then things can start to go wrong, and like that's completely backwards. Like we shouldn't have that control, you know? You should think positively, and you should absolutely, have this positive mindset. It's good for you, but to the point where if your positivity is manifesting these things that only God can manifest, that only God can put into your life, we don't have that power. And it's super deceptive because, it's wrapped up as this beacon of light, of goodness, and that's how it gets you. That's how the devil gets you. That's, when in the Bible, the devil was an angel at one time, he was an angel of light. And so the devil is good at his game. Like, he knows how to deceive us. He knows how to make us think things are good, or he knows how to get into our life in different areas to control. And at this time, I'm not thinking anything is wrong with this. Like I said, I'm truly believing this is from God. I truly believe I'm connecting with God. I believe I'm connecting with my spirit angels, with the universe, who is ultimately God. And so the next thing I get into is I'm in Urban Outfitters one day with a friend, and everything's so cute in there. Everything's like packaged in these little cute dainty boxes and just looked so fun. And I see this deck of tarot cards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've been seeing those, like I should get into that, like I should do that. That will take my spirituality to the next level. So I get these cards, and like they're packaged so beautiful. They're like purple and gold and like so aesthetically pleasing, which is another way I feel like the devil gets us, especially now in like this new age, which I don't even like calling it new age, because this has been around for so many years. Like, it's just wrapped in new packaging or wrapped in this new way to deceive us. And so I get them, and I go home, and I instantly like want to try to practice them. I want to try to use them. And so I look up this way to do it, and they're telling me, like surround yourself with candles, turn out the lights, do this spread, and like you'll hear your spirit guides. And I feel like God has always made my spirit so sensitive to darkness, and I'm so thankful for that. So sensitive to darkness and just evil in general. And so I turn out my lights, and instantly I'm sitting there, and I just feel in my spirit like something is off, something's not right, and I don't do it. And I'm so thankful, because now looking back, I know that was God. Like, that was a warning I should have listened to. Like, this is bad, this is wrong, like, stop. And unfortunately I didn't. I tried again. I tried 3 times total, and thankfully I didn't know how to do it, so none of the times I truly practiced. But what's so amazing and what's so, God is so good, that because I was saved as a child, because I knew who Jesus was as a child, because I accepted him as my Lord and Savior, he covered me, he protected me from anything evil that might have touched me. I've watched so many people's videos of them going through just crazy experiences with the devil, like really messing them up, and the devil could not touch me. Don't get me wrong, when I repented from these things, I went through spiritual warfare. The devil was mad that I was not on his team anymore. He was mad that I found out about Jesus Christ. He was mad that I found this truth. I had nightmares. I had, the craziest, most scariest dreams. This ex that was evil was spiritually attacking me in so many ways. Like, it got really bad, but I now know that it's just the devil. He and that's what affirmed the new age was so real for me, was because these angels of light were so good when I was working for them. They were so loving and peaceful, and like my spirit guide, so amazing. But as soon as I was like, nope, that's not it, like Jesus is the answer, all of them, they turned against me. They were mad. They were mad about the truth that I found out. And it's so deceitful. It's so deceitful. It's so hard to see when you're in it, so I don't want this to come from a place of judgment, from a place of like, I'm telling you how to live your life. Just coming as a warning that bare minimum, you might just look into those practices. Just look into what you're doing, because it is from the devil. It truly is. And I'm so thankful that I found Jesus, and that Jesus took me out of that. And truly, honestly, I wouldn't have even been where I am without my husband. God loves me so much and just cares and knows my heart and my desires so well, that he placed me with a Christian man. At this time, I didn't even think or know I even wanted or needed a Christian man in my life, because I was still, even though I repented of these things, I still had some of that new age mindset and thinking that religion was just not the way. Like, it was spirituality. You can still be close to God. But my husband was so patient with me, and he helped me to just get in a space to where I felt comfortable growing in relationship, because it's truly not about religion. It's not about meeting in a building or having this book of rules. It's truly about relationship. It's about a daughter or a son and their father. And just like our fathers do on earth, he just sets rules, regulations, and just this way of life we should live for our protection, for just the simple fact that he knows what we don't know. He sees what we don't see, and he wants to lead us down this path of righteousness and just to our full potential. And you'll never reach that with New Age. You'll never reach that with the devil. You'll never find full satisfaction. You'll always feel like you just got to manifest some more. You just got to, hone in on these tarot cards some more. And maybe, you're not having enough positive thoughts, and that's why you're not getting all of these different things. And, this is just completely backwards. And even if you are manifesting things, even if you are getting things out of this, which I'm sure you will, because the devil lures you in with this little bit of truth. The devil has power on earth. He can grant you the things that you want. He can grant you the things that you ask for and you desire, if it means you're working for him, if it means you're pushing his kingdom. And once you realize the truth, it's like this veil has been removed from your eyes, and you can just see so clearly. See, it's a spiritual battle that we don't even see. It's a spiritual battle between good and evil, that our eyes, that we can't see. That's not against flesh. It's so spiritual, and God is truly here to protect us. He protected me, thankfully. He did not let the enemy touch me, because I was saved. But if you're not, it can be so much worse, and it's not worth going down. It's not something that is cute or that, you should do just because everybody's doing it on social media, or like it looks fun. Like, it's not fun, and it's not from God. It's not. So I hope that this message came across well and you guys truly understood what I was trying to say, and just truly knowing that this isn't coming from a place of judgment or just lack of understanding, that it's just coming as a warning that it's not worth it, and the devil is not gonna, he's not gonna take you to heaven. Your spirit angels who are guiding your life, you're going down the wrong path, and it's so hard to see when you're in it. But I hope that this at least just spikes that curiosity in your mind to just ask yourself, is this the way? Like, am I doing something that is right? You know, watch other people's testimonies, watch other people's revelation on New Age, and, you know, even if you don't believe me, ask your spirit guides if this is from God, or where they're getting this information, where they're getting this manifestation from, because it's not a good place. And I just hope and I pray that if you're going through this, that this really resonates with you, and that God opens your eyes and you just find the truth. You find the truth, and you come to a place of true understanding. Thank you guys so much for listening to me, and I hope that this sat well with you guys, that my testimony was well portrayed to you. And if you have any other questions or just comments in general, just don't be afraid to ask me or shoot out. I would love to help, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much. Bye.